Jumping back into this next set's going to be Legion taking on Infamous and Aftermath and Houston here 2024 NXL Major League Paintball Lone Star Major, a little outside of Dallas, Texas. So I got Ryan Gray up here, coach of AC Diesel, looked a lot better here at this one, and also Mike Jeffrey, coach of Baltimore Revo. So didn't have time to do the math. In, out, how we looking, boys? Start with you.
Yeah, with
Mr.
that,
Gray.
Yeah, with that Revo win, it's going to be tough. You know, rarely do two wildcard teams come out of the same side. And that's kind of the situation we're in.
I'm fairly certain we're in because we own the head-to-head against Blast Camp with same margin.
Right.
So, yeah.
You should be in.
Yeah, I'm like 99% sure. Opie Logren did the math on that.
He's pretty good at the maths, as they say over in England. So, yeah, Legion, Infamous, Aftermath, and Heat. So, Ryan, Legion, Infamous already out of this. They're 0-3. What do you think this is going to look like?
If they allow the Russian Legion to stay in their script, it's probably going to get pretty ugly pretty fast. It's weird. Infamous, I thought, would do better on this layout. They just haven't found their identity here.
Yeah, we all thought the same thing. Infamous kind of getting beat up. I thought Cali got shot out of that back center. They did lose one early, and they're going to be losing that body out of that can here pretty quick. But yeah, Infamous, oh, wow, good to go. Okay,
yeah,
wow, a couple of extra lives out
there.
Yeah,
another ref comes in and says, no, fam.
Full court press for Legion here. Dorito 4, Ridnikov coming down, and Infamous dying in bunches. Very quick, easy-looking point for Legion.
This is the script I was referring to, right? They have some key spots they want to be in off the break, and if they get one or two key eliminations, they just go.
Yeah, Legion, after the pickup, so past couple of years, it's been tough for them to get a solid starting five at every single event. You know, they had Smotroff a couple years ago. It was, you know, tough for Karslev and Korea. I mean, but picking up J-Rab might have been that missing piece. Now the question is depth, right? Because they're running pretty much the same five guys over and over and over and over again. Those guys seem to have really good cardio, but, you know, as we get deep on Sunday, and they like to play a lot of points too. They rev up that engine pretty quick. So, but in this specific one with Infamous, also, they got a lot of wheels, guys that like to play aggressive. If these guys go blow for blow with Infamous, that's kind of the question with Infamous. Like, are they just kind of mentally beat right now, like over it, or do they want to come out? And I know, I'm guessing if they're listening to this, which they will, they're going to say, no, we got to try to win this one. Of course, but we will see how that actually works out.
You can feel that in the pit pretty quickly. If guys are looking to go home, you see guys looking at phones, flight times, maybe changing up. You're probably going to get smoked. But I wasn't over there. I'm not sure. Because some guys really get it up there, and, you know, pulling out a win in that last one can really set you up for the next tournament.
Well, in this set right here, Houston Heat undefeated, 3 wins for them. They took down Revo early on, so Mike like to get some insight on how you think Heat's playing, but kind of a head scratcher for Aftermath, their opponents here. They got completely dismantled by Blast Camp.
Heat risking Tyler to the snake off the break. Against us, they were playing really good pocket ball with Moorhead getting quick up the center. Tyler getting into Snake 2, uncontested by Aftermath over here, who loses one off the Dorito side and make it another out of the center. So quick 5-on-3 for Heat. Moorhead getting into the Dorito side wedge. Another body coming off for Aftermath. Heat making quick work of them.
So Aftermath is also in that mental situation where, what are you made of? Because they lost a heartbreaker yesterday in overtime. One of their players got a gross major in a 4-on-1, and then they pretty much got shut out by Blast Camp. So where are they at mentally right now? Like, how tough are you? This is kind of the question. Because they do have a win on the board. They
beat us.
Yeah, so, you know, we will see.
It's interesting, too, that they went with such an aggressive breakout against the Guns of Houston Heat. I mean, I kind of had this mentality at this event where I wanted to try, let's get 5 guys out alive. Let's kill 1 guy off the break. Let's be really safe, right? And the point of that was with our dismal performance at the first event, I want to give them some confidence, give them some field time. Let's get some connectivity. Let's create some cohesion. I don't know if I'm down 3 going into this match, or even down 2, and this is maybe one we don't feel good about, I'm probably going to pocket up a little bit instead of being aggressive.
I like your realness and also your vocab on that with dismal, because it did look dismal. But
dismal.
What a turn of events, though. And again, we'll break that down a little bit more, but things were looking a lot better for you here at this one. See if Infamous can rise to the challenge here and try to make Legion go 3-1. And they're going to be losing another body here as Patient's going to be taking the walk from that Aztec. They do take some ground on that D side. Sam Silberg has been a bright shining light for the most part for Infamous in having some good looks in a loss. They get a shot in on Kirill, they get Malloy into the Snake here for Legion, and a pretty good crossfield spread as Karzlev's out into D1. Here comes a move up the middle for Ryan Hall. He's zoning up on that Snake side, and yeah, when Malloy's in the Snake, you have no idea where he's going to be.
Brusselbeck gets out to the corner. to keep the Legion snake side attack in check. Ryan Hall in that Hertz brick, scanning the snake. He knows he's in there. He knows he could come up at about 6 different knuckles, so it gets a little dicey. Malloy looking for it, feels that there's no pressure down the snake, but he's not sure if there's someone in there with him. 4-on-4 situation here. Now Infamous getting into the snake. Infamous with better field position here with a center presence, a far Dorito side presence, and now matching in the snake. Callie in the South Electronics tower, making sure the Russians can't come trucking down that Dorito side.
Well, in the snake, you have to contain Malloy if you play Legion. And right now, snake 1 for Infamous is just laying down and looking down that sideline. And if you're just joining us, thank you so much for joining us. So that back corner, you cannot control movement up in the snake. You have to be in the snake to control movement. And so when you're playing Malloy, who's going to be all over the place, and he's going to be hyper aggressive, you have to put a body in that snake to contend with him.
And this mud is getting very sticky out here, so those crawls forward, even though it's not a long distance, it is taxing on the body and tough to do quickly now.
Yeah, as we kind of opened, I mentioned getting the Russian Legion out of their script, and that is what Infamous has done in this point. Karslev wants to wrap that first Dorito and get up into the third Dorito as quickly as possible. By playing the tower where Callie is, they were able to hold him up there, and so that did throw Infamous off the script. But anytime you have Malloy in the snake, you still got a really good chance.
Yeah, for sure, and he's going to be moving up into that next notch of the snake. Ryan Hall's in position to try to contain that aggression. Brustleback now up into snake 2, a little bit closer. Callie Rudolph at the South Electronics stand-up fight can, and then Silberg all the way up in D4. So great crossfield spread. A lot of real estate taken here for Infamous.
And Hall picked it up. He called snake 4. Now he's trying to shoot a bounce shot off the edge of that bunker to get it to jump in there on Malloy. 3 bodies keeping Malloy in check for Infamous, and Callie keeping the Dorito side attack for the Legion in check. Now J-Rab going to fill out to the snake side corner to support Malloy.
Yeah, feeling no pressure too. He had his eyes up and over that spot. He's looking around. Looks like body language is going to squeegee his gun real quick, but I think he wants to make a move up into that snake 1.
Hall gets up into the Dorito side wedge. He's hunting for Malloy. If Malloy comes forward, Hall is going to try to put a shot on him in that snake 5. He's not going to shoot his gun and hope that Malloy comes up and gives him something. That's Callie shooting a bounce shot from the tower off the pin, trying to sneak one in on Malloy. And a lot of times just applying some sort of pressure on the snake player is important. Even if that bounce shot doesn't kill him, there's paint zipping in there that makes him think twice about hopping over the top, taking big wraps inside.
Well, and we talk about pressure quite a bit. The teams that do put a lot of paint downfield, that are creative with shots, that utilize bounce shots, it's huge. You can't overstate how important pressure is.
Heat in our set, when they beat us, that was one thing they were doing really excellent at, is utilizing a lot of bounce shots, using a lot of bounce shots to not only just put pressure on us, but kill a few of our guys.
Yeah, so Hall still at that crucial 50 wedge. Callie's going to dig back to get to the can, wants to get out to that D side, give Silberg a little bit more support. He does. Gets out into D1.
Yeah,
J-Rab, talking about pressure, he's feeling no pressure in that back corner. He's up and over the top, utilizing that nipple on the top of that bunker to block people out, stay at least a little safe, but being very proactive in a back position.
Callie wanted to kill Sergey there out of that can by getting a quick one.
Did.
Now here comes Malloy. Just 3 bodies left alive for Legion. Malloy is in snake 5. He might catch Hall here. Ooh, no, he shoots the Dorito first. And Hall going to retreat back to the Hertz brick to protect himself from Malloy's gun inside.
Yeah, Silberg also saw that stream, and he's posted up down on that same shot. Hall much safer at that Hertz brick, and Malloy posted up down the sideline now. Brustleback's thinking about running the highway. He's posted up. He's looking for it. He's worried about J-Rab. J-Rab's looking inside at Silberg. If Silberg gets a little bit farther up, it's going to open up that highway move to dunk on Malloy here.
You're fine with the trade here in 4-on-3. In fact, you want it. Malloy now crawling forward. He's going to set up a shot. If he crawls a little further down the wire, he might be able to... Gets caught by Brustlebeck down the wire, so Infamous in full control now in a 4-on-2, getting Malloy out of the snake. Just the Dorito corner and the snake corner left for Russian Legion.
Yeah, I don't hate that move from Malloy because they're down bodies and they like to play a lot of points, and he's realizing this is a really long, drawn-out, low body situation. They're probably not going to win anyway.
Although they do put a shot on Silberg, so now it's a 3-on-2.
Yeah, but Callie was right there to fill into that spot, and Hall is still alive, so... Oh, but where did Brustleback get shot? Was that
from the Dorito corner,
coast to coast? Wow, what a great shot by Karslev, keeping his head on that swivel. You want to keep those eyes down the field, looking at different opportunities of angles.
And now J-Rab is alone in the snake. I think he knows the situation. He has a lot of flaps on his pack. I think he might be on his last hopper load here. But with owning the snake, he's in a pretty good situation. Infamous with a tight stack on the Dorito side. The Russians battling back on this one. If you're Infamous, this is so frustrating. You've had a bad tournament. You get a 4-on-2 situation. You get all the spots, and then you throw it away as soon as you get Malloy off the field.
Man, it's tough because sometimes somebody just makes a miraculous shot, and that shot that Karslev made on Brusselback, that's a really tough shot to make.
Once you get past the Snake 2, though, from Snake 2 to Snake 2, there are so many things that bounce into this. Like, if you're coming up playing inside here and thinking you're safe, you are not.
No, yeah,
you are not.
We saw a lot of guys get killed off of bounce shots this weekend.
Absolutely. And especially where Karslev is, he's got all of them.
And it kind of limited the power of the snake. When you see a snake, and here comes J-Rab, he's going to commit. So J-Rab doesn't commit the whole way. He stops to try to get an angle. But there's that. He's just trying to get a look at Hall. Now we're looking at Karslev on the D side here on your screen. 7:15 left to go here, and we're only in .2.
It seems likely that Legion didn't see Brusselbeck come off, and that was a coast-to-coast shot. So J-Rab's playing like there might be someone in front of him.
Yeah, so tense moments here in a 2-on-2 situation. J-Rab is going to put his gut to the ground and crawl all the way to the opposite side of the field. He doesn't have the angle on Hall, but he does have the angle crossfield on Callie.
Oh, I think he missed.
Yeah, he missed his shot on Callie. He's going to stay dedicated on that. And then Karslev is cut to the inside. He's kind of playing the blind, just using those bunkers downfield to block out the two players. So, you know, both teams looking to know the count here. It's just tough when you're that close to each other in a 2-on-2 when the field is spread against your opponents. An advantage Legion right now with as J-Rab crawling closer to that buzzer. That is the objective here. You do not need to shoot everybody. Just need to hit that buzzer.
You can tell J-Rab is very low on paint. I don't think he shot Callie again. Callie has to be really far on the other side of that Dorito here in order to live from... Oh, Karslev gets shot, though, so now it's a 2-on-1 again for Infamous. Ryan Hall able to open up his gun. I think he's going to catch J-Rab. He does. I don't know who shot Karslev right there, but extremely clutch.
Well, Ryan Hall.
Yeah, Karslev was getting extra creative over there, and it ended up costing him.
I don't think you do that either with J-Rab on their end of the snake. However, there's a chance that Karslev doesn't see J-Rab, doesn't know where he is. Maybe he's dead.
Yeah, Mike, you hit it. He had no idea. With all the bricks in the middle of the field, he couldn't see where J-Rab was over here. And he also can't see the posture of any of the guys on the field.
Yeah.
I did see Karslev, as that was unfolding, shake his loader.
Yeah.
Just to make sure. Do I have anything in here?
Yeah, how weighty is this loader right now?
Yeah.
We're talking 20 balls, 150, what do we got? And so they're going to let the time roll down here as no concession from Legion, no buzzer hit from Infamous. Again, Infamous is out, they're 0-3, so even if they win this game, it's kind of more for overall standing. I mean, every 6 years or so, we'll see a team get in at 1-3. It's not going to happen here at this event.
No. Pride. This is about pride.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I will say, again, Infamous did a really good job trapping Karslev back in that corner, putting it together. Other than kind of throwing that midpoint 4-on-2 away, pretty good point.
Yeah, yeah.
Silberg beating him to the punch on that side is huge, too.
Huge.
He's not going to come trucking down your side if you're already in there and aware that's his tendency.
Yeah, and again, like we had talked about with Diesel, in this sense, is like, okay, well, what does it take to actually be elite and be a team that's winning tournaments out here? Well, you have to play those situations correctly. You got to be putting all the work in and then hang with the top team. So if you're Infamous, kind of getting a real rough go of it out here, 0-3, and Legion looking really good. If they can get a win, it's a morale boost. It's good for the standings, you know. And you never want to go to a tournament. And maybe you can speak to this, you know, how hard it is to fight out of the mental malaise of going through a tournament with no wins here, Ryan.
It's awful, right? It's terrible. So, like, because it's no longer just about the physical things you do. It's way more about the emotional, the confidence, those types of things come into play heavy, right? And so you go out expecting to be successful, especially in your fourth match, but it's tough.
So jumping back in after a long wait, ASG Aftermath down by 1. Houston Heat, ooh, and a penalty. Yeah, it's talking about mental focus right now, and it's just been a real rough one here for Aftermath. They've been making a lot of mistakes. There's a penalty in a situation where they're playing Houston Heat. They're only down by 1, kind of just kicking things off. And still a ton of time on the clock, and now they're down bodies again.
Yeah, and shot a guy off the break.
They shot Connor Kelly?
Yeah.
So 4, oh, and they lose another there. So falling apart for Aftermath here.
Oh, no, Connor's here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I think it's just that Dorito corner left for Aftermath now.
They shot Sam.
4 alive for Heat with the lead. Already with the ticket punch to Sunday, right?
Yeah, Heat's undefeated so far.
Oh, there's 2 live. Aftermath is in this Dorito side wedge over here.
Tyler just told Connor, he's like, hey, keep going. Keep going, man. Let's go.
Yeah, you sleepy?
Comes up. He misses the shot on the Dorito side wedge, but he calls it. He's got that voice that carries.
Yeah, you don't have to have the deepest, loudest voice. You just need a voice that is very distinguishable.
And he certainly has that.
Yeah, for sure. In spades.
Yep. They kill the Dorito corner, so just this center guy left for Aftermath. He's going to get eaten up by Connor right there.
Yeah, nothing Morris could do in that situation, because they had lost that wide body and also in a real big low body situation. So yet another point here for Houston Heat. So yeah, Aftermath has not put a point on the board in day 2 so far.
And they looked pretty good yesterday. They tend to play really connected paintball. They shoot really well off the break. They play a ton of paintball, so they're good gun battlers. But, you know, they're running those 2 lines, and I don't know. How do you feel about a 2-line situation? I think
Ryan?
I think if you can do it, it's great, right? But when you're playing a team, if you think you may only get 5 opportunities, 6 opportunities, if the average number of points being scored in a match is going to be 6 to 7, I'm probably running the same guys.
I think it's tough to do with young guys, because young guys are a little bit more dependent on rhythm. They're a little bit more fragile, so having those on-off moments.
And you mean mentally fragile?
Mentally
'Cause
fragile.
Physically,
yeah.
they're
Oh,
more
yeah, yeah, of
capable.
course.
Yeah.
Mentally fragile.
Yeah, but you come out at the last event in a 4th place. How do you argue?
Yeah, and that's kind of that's why it's part of the discussion. So both teams losing a body here on the break. Legion doubling up with so they get the Tiger King a spin. Kuzmin to give their starters some rest.
I don't know what Kuzman's been doing in the offseason, but that kid is massive now.
Getting into the snake there. Karslev in the Doritos side corner. Tiger King coming up the snake, crawling well.
Yeah, it's got a very good, solid,
Yeah,
like textbook crawl.
Looks like a cheetah on the prowl in his cheetah head wrap.
I love the Russian cheetah head wrap.
Yeah.
Fits right in.
As Sergey gets into the Dorito side wedge and Karslev gets into the Dorito 3, Legion develops really well simultaneously. The center Dorito side and Snake Attack all developing at the same time. So maybe Infamous picked up 1. They certainly didn't pick up the Snake, though, as he kills 2. Oh, just Ryan Hall out of the center. He missed on Joe Barrett in the Dorito corner, but he's coming all the way to Snake 1. I love the way he's playing this right here. Russellbeck gets in. Oh, great instincts here to pick it up and shoot him down the wire. Awesome play here by the Tiger King. He's going to eat up the back center here and then shoot the back left.
This might have to go on my list. I run a list of best individual performances and points and give out money courtesy of Pate Smith Law. And this might have to go on the list. If he gets this last one too, that might have been a team kill as he forced the body over. Still that last body left alive back corner bunker and going to get that one. Yeah, that was a beautiful job by Kuzmin.
Have you seen a point as good as either one of Clint Johnson's?
No, not yet. To be
Those
honest.
2 were...
We still got a whole afternoon.
I get it.
Yeah, and then he made sure, he's like, Maddie, that was a 5-pack. I'm like, look, I'm going to tell you how this works. After the event, I go rewatch all the list plays, and anyone that, that somebody else was like, oh, you got to check this one out. And I go rewatch all of them, and I kind of weigh the difficulty given the moment, and then we dish out the money. But yes, Clint's leading the pack right now. And he has 2.
Yes.
2 separate ones.
Wow.
I asked him yesterday afternoon. I was like, hey, man, what'd you eat? Do that again. Do that again.
Clint really stepped up for you guys this weekend.
He did.
I know you guys didn't have the result that you wanted, but I'm telling you, man, that's a real good trend in the right direction for AC Diesel. And, yeah, because if you can get Clinton Johnson to play like that and get Mouse going, get Mouse to play some offense, that'd be great.
Heat breaking out to the Dorito side corner with Ronnie Dizon. They do lose Chad George out of the Snake side tower. Connor Kelly coming through the center. Aftermath with 5 bodies alive in that flying V formation. They get into the Snake with Ethan Castro. They might have shot Monville on the fill here to the Snake side tower.
Yeah, it looks like
he goes out to the corner clean.
I think that's Trujillo getting up in the middle for ASG Aftermath.
I really like the pace they've come out with in this point. Pocketed, but then with immediate pressure, they kill Connor out of the center. So 5-on-3 advantage for Aftermath. I think you got to spin this first line if they win this point. I know they really love their two-line system, but Grayson now getting out to that Dorito side corner. Aftermath in full control of the field, although the ref is running in to check Trujillo.
Man, he's giving Trujillo a very, very thorough check.
Super thorough.
And he's alive.
Yeah, if I was Trujillo, as soon as the ref got away from me, I would have moved.
Yeah, certainly. That's smart. He's looking for it now, probing a little as Grayson gets into the Dorito 2 up there for Aftermath. They don't know the count, and then they just lost their center Aztec player. Woodruff going to fill to the back center now.
Yeah, so Trujillo in a good spot, Castro in a decent spot. They also have the field spread with Grayson at D2. But Heat just kind of sitting on this 2-point lead saying, hey, come after it, young kids. Let's go. What do you got? We lost a body. We're going to hold the line.
If you're Heat, this is actually kind of great. I know they want to protect their seed and get a bye, but this is a great situation practice. 3-on-5 in the back line with a lead. You're going to face these situations on Sunday and got to be stiff against an attack.
Because even if it's not your intention to end up in these spots necessarily, but you may very well end up in this exact moment deep into Sunday and have to find a way to pull it off.
And they have the two best spots for a defensive position with the Dorito and Snake Corner, both big bunkers that you cannot pinch out. You just got to kind of go forward and make it really difficult or connect on a cross-field shot for them. They also have Moorhead in that Dorito side can, super tucked into there. Obviously a very experienced player. It's Monville out here, and then D's on.
That's a good line.
All really smart players who roll their guns and talk a lot. Castro now getting to Snake 3 for Aftermath. He can actually go all the way. That's kind of he has the ball here is Castro just to get on his belly, shoot down the line to make sure that Monville doesn't sneak in there and try to go to Heat Snake 1. Crawling kind of high there as he goes into the Snake 4.
Yeah, Castro doesn't, there's no one in Snake with him.
Yeah,
Monville's in that back corner, but Monville cannot stop the forward progression from Castro unless he goes way out wide, which is very treacherous from that spot.
He does kill Moorhead from the Snake 4, so just 2 bodies left alive for Heat, as Trujillo now jumping forward and going into the Heat's Hurts box.
Yeah, Trujillo playing on his toes, offensive-minded as they are down 2. Got a ton of time to work with, though. Right around 10 minutes. Castro with some good comms, crossfield. Oh, but Grayson Gladstone with a tough death out of D3.
That's a bad death there.
And then Castro sees that death, knows he needs to get up the field. He does have a body behind him, but now there's no one on that D side here for ASG. They got to make it happen from the Snake side. So Castro scurries up.
Is Monville must be dead the way he's playing.
Monville must have got shot from that. If we get the eyes in the sky for a second, but yeah, the way that Castro's playing, he's going to run through. Yeah, Monville must have got shot at some point.
Dizon still alive, playing the full other side of that bunker, but now Woodruff getting out to the Dorito wire, so it's just a matter of time or a miracle for Dizon here.
And Trujillo is just going to run him down. Ooh, kind of a little bit of a yard sale there for tripped and fell, but that's why we got the job done.
And that's why we have chin straps these days.
So Aftermath putting their first point on the board of Saturday and staying in this match. Now only down by 1 with 9:14 to go.
Yeah, it's been that line.
Yeah, I talked to them about it. I've been at their practice the past 2 weekends before leading the non-layout and then the layout practice. And I talked to some of their leaders, and I was like, how married are you guys to this 2-line structure you guys are running? And they're like, well, it was working for us. And I'm like, just don't get too married to it, guys.
Yeah.
Okay? Because, look, I can't argue it's a decent amount of success. 7th at Cup, 4th at the first event. But, if you face a situation where one line is objectively doing better than the other line, maybe take the best 2 players from the line that's not playing as well and then stack up that 7 and roll with those guys.
Here's what I'd say, too, about just from a strategic perspective. When you have a layout that is off-the-break gun dominant like this one, I want those 3 guys who are potentially shooting those shots as much as possible.
So jumping back into this next one here, another 1-point match. Just 3:12 left in this one. Kirill with a big bite here off the break, and they're trying to take him out, but 2 bodies come off trying to deal with Kirill Peridny. And looks like Nate Schrader and Ryan Hall taking the walk, and they also lose Silberg, and they're going to be losing Brusselback too, and that leaves just Callie Rudolph, and he has to try to get out. He runs to his death, and that is going to do it. One of the quicker points we've seen out here today. Legion going to be going up by 2, and with the bodies dropping so fast, 4 bodies left alive out there. No idea that everyone is dead in front of them.
Kirill did that gun up the whole way. I think he shot the Snake side Aztec, and then shot Silberg coming through for him in the center, or Ryan Hall, whoever that was. Getting 2 on a move like that through the center can win the point.
When we looked at when this layout came out, seen a lot of layouts, seen a lot of players over the years, and I was thinking, man, I really like this middle. This could get interesting. Who could feast out here? Thought of Kirill Pridny, thought of A-Rod, Sean Salcedo for you guys, and then Clint Johnson had a tournament out here too, and you guys threw a couple different bodies up. Mark actually had some really good points too.
Yeah, Mark played great.
Yeah,
he really did.
He played very solid.
Great.
Yeah.
Steven O'Mara, another really dynamic center player. He didn't play great yesterday, but he has the potential to really feast.
Tom Guest was doing well up there because Ironman. I'm really interested how Ironman and Shock.
Yeah.
They played outstanding yesterday. They both are undefeated. Those are teams on a build for Shock with a legendary name and another rebuild for the Ironman.
So they spin, or Castro at least is out there.
Ooh. And just real quick before we get off the middle conversation, Soap from Blast Camp is phenomenal up there. That dude is lethal. Body coming off right now. It's Fedorov. Big kill here for ASG Aftermath. Only down 1. A lot more time left in this set here. See our eye in the sky on the telestration. So it's a 5-on-4 high body moment. Slight high body moment for ASG.
And they did break from the 2 lines, spinning Grayson Gladstone and Ethan Castro here. And Castro trying to get out to the snake side corner.
I like that though. Good. That's intelligent. That's the correct play, I feel.
Down 1 with 8 minutes and 40 seconds left. They have the South Electronics Tower and the Snake Aztec. Mishka, though, in the Hertz brick for Heat. He hasn't been playing a ton out here.
That's true. Ryan's been doing a good job up there.
Oh, they get a kill on Grayson out of the Dorito side can, and then the South Electronics Tower. So dying in bunches are Aftermath. That's been the story of their day.
Yeah, and when you're playing a team of Houston Heat's caliber, multiple-time world champs, and you get a 5-on-4 situation with some, it's just can't lose bodies and bunches. Just throwing away a high body moment.
So
gonna let Connor Kelly get into the snake. He's gonna crawl all the way down to snake 4, and he's gonna get a free kill on Morris. He's gonna have an angle on Trujillo. Trujillo comes out. Now he tucks in to stay alive. He's got to worry about Castro in front of him.
Great job by Connor Kelly there, seeing the bodies come off, giving the kill count, telling Tyler, knowing that he has that retreat to the Snakeside Tower. So now Tyler can protect Connor from someone coming down. Mishka also in the Dorito side wedge.
They're shooting the bounce shot on Connor Kelly, but that fragile paint's just breaking right off of that. I didn't see any winging in on Connor. Angle's a little off too. Oh, Connor Kelly winning a nice gunfight on Ethan Castro. So Connor with a 2-pack, and that's going to force a concession to save the time here as the lead gets extended 3-1. Houston Heat trying to go undefeated in the prelims.
I like the way they're going to their bench here too. 3-0. They know they're playing tomorrow. They didn't play Connor Kelly much in their second match yesterday. They didn't play him at all against us, but now with the opportunity to get him spins and get him rolling downhill, he becomes a weapon that you can go to tomorrow.
Great point, Mike.
Well, you had also talked about how when you get younger guys that very durable, they're in their early 20s, those are guys that can kind of go every single point, decent cardio for dudes that keep themselves in shape. But it's the mental strength that you get as you get older, which in paintball is becoming, look at Dynasty. Dudes in their early 40s. I mean, Ryan Greenspan won an MVP. I know they struggled yesterday, 42 years old.
Incredible.
So, yeah, and that's just proves what's possible. But you got to get a guy like Connor Kelly his spins.
Yeah.
Needs to stay a little fresh.
Legion killing Ryan Hall off the break. Callie launching through the middle. He shoots Kirill, but they lose another off that side, so it's just 2 bodies left alive for Infamous. 4 for Legion as the ref comes in to check Malloy. He's clean, though.
Yeah, Malloy's going to scurry up to Snake 4, goes right past Snake 3. And here comes Sergey. Sergey's going to get to the Hertz brick, looking to go up to that wedge. J-Rab behind Malloy. Malloy needing to worry, though, is body into Snake 1 for Infamous, and we got Barrett in the back corner bunker on the D side. Patient's going to crawl up, get into Snake 2. He's got his gun up, though, as he's crawling up, kind of shooting and crawling at the same time.
Oh, I don't think he knows Malloy's there. Just the way he was wrapping. Oh, I guess he's a little protected with the.
He might have got it. He either bounced or shot Sergey. He definitely put a ball in Sergey for sure. Sergey's asking for a check.
Patient saying, get out.
Oh, he bounced him.
Oh.
This humidity on the paint is real.
Yeah. Yep. Sticky ground, humid conditions. And here comes the attack from Malloy as Patient and Malloy both moved up at the same time. Malloy ended up getting the drop, though, on Zach Patient. Wins the snake battle. No one in front of him, another body dropping as well, too. During that chaos is Barrett from that top side, and that should do it here. for Legion to extend this lead. Yeah, man, Infamous just grinding gears on the offense. To me, looking at those first 3 games, though, it became blatantly apparent that with Silberg on the D side and the way that middle, like Ryan Hall had some really good points, Silberg was pretty solid on that D side. The Snake side was the weakness for Infamous, unfortunately for them. They couldn't really get patient going. Brusselbeck was a better survivor, but wasn't really pushing the issue too much. And that was their weakness at this event.
Was Jonah unavailable to them?
I think Jonah's hurt.
Okay.
He is. Yeah, I'll tell you from my perspective, when I saw the layout, when I looked at the Snake, just because I've been around for a day or two.
A little bit, yeah.
It looked to me like a hot girl in the dark club.
That's perfect.
You're
Right?
not the first person to see that this weekend,
right?
for sure.
Because you see it and you're like, oh, we're going to put 2 guys in that thing. We're going to go all the way down it. And then as you realize how many bounce shots there are in the like the exposure to the middle of the field, how creative you can be out of those mini wins.
Yes.
Over here on the Snake side, I was like, that when the lights come on, I don't think people are going to see that Snake the same way.
And you were not wrong.
Yeah.
That's how it ended up playing out. Yeah, the power of the middle because of how creative you can get in there and how potent it can be. And then the D side, we've seen a lot of good D side performances out of certain players and teams at this event. So yeah, the Snake power was kind of minimized because of all those things Ryan was just discussing. So jumping into this next one here, Houston Heat with a 2-point lead, 7:27 to go.
Ronnie Dizon dies battling in his first engagement at the Dorito corner for Heat, so 5-on-4 advantage with Aftermath getting into the sneak with Ethan Castro. Down 2, 7 minutes left, plenty of time to go. That's Chad George getting into that Snake side wall. He also has Moorhead and the Hertz brick there with him. And Heat does get Tyler Harmon into the Snake. So they have no Dorito side presence with Mishka in the back center, but enough of a threat to make it really difficult for Aftermath here. Aftermath still stuck in the pocket on the Dorito side with Grayson in the Dorito can and Trujillo in the South Electronics tower. That's Woodruff filling out to the Snake tower now for Aftermath to give support to Castro.
That Castro's going to move up and get into Snake too.
5-on-4 for Aftermath. Kind of need this point as time goes down, already down 2 points and with a 1-body advantage.
Yeah, and again, it needs to be repeated that for ASG to have any chance of moving on in this tournament, it is a must-win situation here against Houston Heat. And with about 6:15 to go, down by 2, they have to play offense here against Houston Heat. No choice.
Mazurek roasts the ref in the face. Unfortunately, that's not worth anything.
He shouldn't have been standing there.
Oh, but there's Moorhead in that wedge, and they come around on him now. Does Trujillo? He gets him alive, but then gets picked up by Tyler Harmon in the Snake. So just 1 body left alive. It's just Tyler Harmon in this. Oh, no, Chad George now in that wall, too. So 2 left alive for Heat. 4 alive for Aftermath as Castro launching.
Yeah, Castro runs the highway, though. Chad George does come off, and they are going to finish this one and finish it relatively quickly, too. So now going to be a 1-point spread with 5.5 left. That's obviously all the time in the world for just 1 point. The situation, though, for Aftermath, though, is they kind of need to win this one, go 2-2, and they need to win it by, I haven't done the math, but need to win it by quite a bit.
A lot.
Yeah.
And I think it's like at this point, I think you got to spin this line. That's the line that's won both points out there.
In the pits right now, David Ramirez, one of the leaders on the squad. Let's listen in real quick.
I know. Get ready. Except for Steven. Steven, I'm going to put Brian. I'm trying to hold the Brian. Get ready. Getting to work right now, man. Let's go. Let's go, motherfucker. Guys, if you're tired, let me know. Get him paused. Get him paused.
I saw you. There was a baby. That's what you did.
Focus pit. Focus pit for Aftermath right now. I think a timeout was called, maybe.
Ethan, are you okay? Are you okay?
Trying to figure out how to run that same line.
I heard, I'm pretty sure I heard Woodruff say everyone except one name. So I think it's going to be a nearly full spin. I'm not sure who would be sitting on that.
Again, for Aftermath's growth, it kind of got to occasionally go away from something that was working before that is not working now. because to refine the squad, you need to have every option available to you.
And, you know, watching the tape on them before this tournament, like Todd called it out, that second line lost in some big moments at that first tournament. So, yeah, it got them deep, but it's just because you love something for the first 2.5 days of the tournament doesn't mean you can stick with it all the way through.
It's lines, it's players, it's plays. Just, you know.
It's the hot girl in the dark club.
The not hot girl, right?
Well, you don't know until you turn the lights on.
Yeah.
So here comes Infamous pushing the issue here, down by 3 with no time left. 36 seconds left. This one's for Pride. As up in the middle, past the 50 with, I think, Silberg. McDarby getting a spin here into the Snake and into Snake 2. Silberg is going to wrap around and run through and ends up trading off of that Chaos attack. Now on the D side for Infamous. McDarby's going to move up here in the Snake. Down to 15 seconds. McDarby's still alive in the Chaos. Joe Barrett does not know McDarby's alive. And McDarby's going to actually run back, and that's actually good Spidey sense there. Might have caught Nate Schrader. Nate's going to run in and I think be able to hit the buzzer. McDarby trying to sell it. I don't know if he put a ball in on him. He put a couple behind him. Oh, I think he shot him on the inside thigh, but not sure if it was before he hit him, before he hit the buzzer, or right after he hit the buzzer.
Right.
The first stream was slightly behind him, but it did look like he adjusted pretty quick.
Thumbs down from the ref. So that's going to be a swing point to go to Legion, which could have ramifications in terms of seeding.
Well, Legion's undefeated now.
Yeah, they're
going to be the 1 seed.
Okay.
So Legion, as the top seed in the bracket coming into this event, they're undefeated, so they'll be top seed. Damage is 3-1. They'll be 2. And then Notorious went 1-3. Diesel 2-2. Yeah, I don't know if that changes anything for you, Ryan. No?
It doesn't.
Yeah.
The Revo thing would have changed something for me.
Way to ruin AC Diesel's chances, Mike.
Hey, I want to be
Happy
clear
to.
that I'm one of these competitors too that understands if you don't take care of your own destiny,
Yeah.
that's what happens, right? And the other thing is, I'm also one of those guys that if I don't win and my friend does, I'm okay with that too.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, and also, even though it's been a rocky road for Diesel, I don't want Diesel there on Sunday.
I do.
I know you do, but if I was playing in this league right now, or if I was leading a team with that roster, it's not a team I want to see on Sunday.
Aftermath down 1. They lose their Snake corner off the break, so 4-on-5. Heat in that flying V. You can hear Connor Kelly from a mile away up here.
Yeah, still 5.5 left in this one, and ASG losing that body up the gut. It was Trujillo again, and they ran Castro again, so they did go away from it. They are running their the guys that are doing the best job out there.
Yeah, Castro's walking off now, so the down 2.
Yeah, just 3 alive for Aftermath. Down 1. They're going to probably let this roll for about 30 seconds or so. I think this middle guy, you don't want to blow it until they pick him up, because he might be able to get 1 free kill and then come and get another and have a 2-on-3 with space to work with. It's a tough spot, though, because you don't want to go down 2 with under 4 minutes.
As a coach, like and Mike, you may have a kind of a different perspective on this, but I got to start seeing some posture of understanding that I got to go.
Yeah.
Now's where I blow it right there.
Yeah, so I think that, Mishka getting in there and getting the shot in on that attacking player. That was Morris up the middle again.
What are we doing? Blow the. There you go.
And they had lost Grayson as well, too. So poor Cody Woodruff at that tower, last body left alive.
In that situation, you also know which kind of guys have the ability to get jiggy and make a move that changes the game. So they're usually a player or two that I'm watching. And, you know, smart players understand that the horn will be coming. And so even if it's not immediately, if I see them gun battling with intention, looking like they're going to take a bite, I'm going to let it roll for a little while longer. I don't want to take those opportunities away, not because you always convert on them, but because the guys want to take those shots. The good players do, and they hate when you blow the towel right before they're going to make their.
But it's also, sure, they want to do that, of course, and you want guys that want to do that.
Yeah.
But it's your responsibility as the leaders to be like, sorry, guys, that was a dastardly moment for us. It was 2-on-5.
100%.
It's not that I don't believe in you, but we need to preserve the time.
Right.
The chances of us converting that's maybe 5%, and that's just a bad bet.
Right, right.
So I'm trying to give us collectively as a squad the best possible chance to win. So, and also, I agree with both of you that it's about body language. As a coach, when you're out there and you're watching your guys, and if it's a 2-on-4 and the two are just kind of hiding and crossing it up in bad spots they can't really cross it up from, I'm conceding that point. If I see guys popping the top, really gunfighting, strong to try to create some sort of offensive opportunity, a low body moment, give me 15 seconds.
Well, and sometimes I'm willing to spend 5 to 15 seconds to let a guy take a low percentage move, not because I think it's going to work, but to let that guy get that look forward and have him playing on his toes rather than feeling like something's been taken away.
And it
from
also
him.
depends on the situation in the game. If there's a minute and a half left,
Right.
that's a totally different conversation.
Totally.
But if there's 5.5 minutes left, you can squander 15 seconds here.
Yeah.
And, depending on how close it is.
Usually no one's going to do the accounting on you and say, hey, I went back and looked and you giving it that 5 seconds. I'll do that on myself and feel secretly guilty, but I usually don't get blamed for it.
Same. Yeah. I go back, it's funny, last night I was watching us, and Mark comes in and he was like, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm grading me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking for mistakes that I made. Did I become predictable? I gave all my sheets to Kyle Spica, and I said, hey, I want you to take my sheets, and if you were a coach, I want you to tell me how you'd beat me.
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd bring that up. I didn't want to bring it up before you did because that's a really smart thing to do. And Spica's hurt, so he got to watch a lot of paintball. And that's pretty genius, actually, to go to a very seasoned veteran guy who coaches a lot of teams down in the divisions and say, hey, Kyle, take this and don't look for what we're doing well. I want you to look at this as my opponent. You're Mike Jeffrey. How do you beat us? But you said he only had like one criticism, essentially, right?
Yeah, we found one thing where I got a little bit like I did one thing kind of every other, right? Now, to be clear, in the moment, I kind of did it on purpose because of the side of the field we were doing it from. Okay. But I still, that's a great find, and I need to fix that, right? And so we did today, and the outcome, unfortunately, still wasn't great.
All right, here we go. Houston Heat up by 2. ASG, what fight left do they have in them? I know they got some fight, but is it going to work out? Ooh, Chad George catches a bouncer, trying to get out. They do lose their wide body, and here comes the attack up the middle. It's a 5-on-4 situation in favor of Aftermath, and they're going to launch on a bunch of secondaries, and they made it out wide on the D side. They do lose the body, though, as Castro going to be taking the walk, trying to get into Snake 1. They do shoot Chad George, though, so no one on this D side. Heat's going to try to fill it with Monville, and he makes it clean to the tower. They got Ryan Moorhead up the gut. He's at that Hertz brick with a little under 4 minutes to play, but it's a 3-on-4 situation still in favor of Aftermath.
I think Woodruff needs to retreat to that snake side tower and try to get in the snake. It's going to be difficult for Aftermath to develop anything with Moorhead on that side. Trujillo comes through. And lives.
Oh. Ooh, that was about to go on the list if he was able to complete that.
That's a really good situational trade there. You love it with the body advantage. 3-on-2 for Aftermath. It's the Dorito corner, and I think the snake corner? Yeah. So the great hold down the fort spots for Heat with the 2-point lead and just about 3 minutes left. Woodruff coming out to the snake corner. He's going to take a look around before he goes forward. Also launching is Jordan on the Dorito side. So Aftermath developing perfectly here in the situation. Woodruff just going to keep his gun up just in case the Heat player comes into the snake with him.
Yeah, Cody Woodruff puts himself in a pretty good spot.
He's going to get some comms. You want to close this in the next 50 seconds.
Monville went all the way out just for a beat to see if he could catch Woodruff getting sloppy. Couldn't do it, so had to get back into that spot, catching a little bit of pressure from that middle.
And that's why I do like Woodruff stopping and connecting with his guys for a second instead of trying to crawl the whole way, because you can get caught by someone hopping out wide that way. But Aftermath developing nicely, all 3 players onto Heat side of the field. It's going to be Look
at this, though, Mike. Here comes Monville. Catches Woodruff sleeping. Grayson was able to get the kill. No penalty assessed, though, on Monville, so it was a clean run, but now it puts Heat in a low-body 1-on-2 situation. I still like that move from Monville, though. Oh, but it was a major? Oh,
yeah.
Wow. So after a thought, they're going to end up giving Monville the major penalty.
And they did not have enough bodies to pull for it, so it's going to be starting 1 down for Heat. I really thought Grayson had his gun this way. I thought he shot him after the snake, too. I couldn't see Woodruff, so... looked like a major to me. It took him a second to connect on it. The 2 refs having their conversation.
So it's going to be a 1-point game, 2:11 on the clock, and Heat starting 4 bodies.
And I mean, it's a mistake by Heat, but the reality, they're in, right? Yeah. So it's one of those like, hey, I may just be going to do this, see if I can do it.
Yeah.
Right?
And
I like the read. I like the read from Sam. Because in another universe, Grayson maybe he's checking off on that other side, and he not only shoots Cody because he got him, then he shoots Grayson, and now it turns into 2-on-1 in favor of Heat.
It's a super easy coaching point with a lot of experienced guys. Like, hey, we like this read. Obviously don't like the major there.
Yeah.
Right?
In the pits right now. Tense moments for Aftermath and desperately need this win.
Ramirez is he always has the intensity in there. I like the way he talks to his guys.
Yeah, let's listen in real quick.
I think that one more
That's
guy.
Trujillo. Trujillo's been wheeling and dealing out there. He's trying.
Hey, they're reviewing. We have time.
Yeah, I like David's intent. He's always at a 10, man.
Yeah.
Lasered in. He's got those laser eyes, just totally focused. Quick with the words.
I think it's big with a young team that's playing all 10 guys to have someone who can be the intense adult, hold everybody accountable.
Well, he came up under Hinman, so he knows the harsh coaching, but he also, and I've talked to him about this, but he also tries to weave in a lot of positivity too when guys deserve it.
Right.
I've been accused of being a little harsh.
Well, I was gonna say you can't also forget the power of some negative reinforcement depending on who you're coaching.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes some people need to hear it the right way in these intense moments, and depending on who it is, not everyone can take that.
Yeah.
So
I like to say really cutting things in a nice tone of voice.
That's what I was going to say. It's all in the delivery.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
If you give them the correction sandwich, right?
Yes.
It works a little easier.
Exactly.
yeah, Bob Long used to say that like 2 decades ago.
Yeah, I said it nicer than he did. I've gotten a tongue lashing or two from Bob over the years.
1 point.
And so timeout called.
Corner to safety.
I like this timeout. Smart.
I mean, this is a big moment, man. I mean, tournament on the line for Aftermath. It's been kind of a rough prelims for them considering how good they've been recently. They've had some bad breaks. They've had some unforced errors.
That gross major in the uprising overtime point is just such a brutal way to lose a match that you had in hand.
So you brought it up, so I'm gonna, I was gonna give Castro some props earlier, and he's really been playing well. The one kind of black eye on that whole deal for the tournament to me is you put your team in the situation where this game is now so critical because of that one kind of selfish young decision that you made, literally 4-on-1. And if you're a Snake player and you're listening to this, if you crawl weird, you dive weird, or you hip slide weird, you're doing something weird. And all the refs know.
Yeah.
You know, when he put his shoulder up under that bunker, all the refs were like, what are you doing, fella?
Yeah, for sure. And I talked to Grayson about this. It's a learning moment for a young squad.
Sure.
And Castro's a guy that they're going to need because of how good he is. I mean, he's their go-to Snake attacker right now, and you need him mentally focused. And I haven't coached him. I don't know him well. I've seen him now for a little bit, but I don't know if he's the guy you can give a solid tongue lashing to and he's going to step up and rise to the occasion, or if he's guys like, hey, we love you, buddy. You know that was a big mistake. Let's never do that again. Because like you said, when you're doing weird things with your body, these refs watch every single point of every single game, every single tournament. And they get used to seeing body language. So that's called a tell.
Sure, yeah, bad one.
I'll say this.
Bad one.
Frank Antetomaso played in the Aftermath camp, and it's always interesting to see who he talks about from that camp. And Castro, Ethan, was the name he brought up the most.
Yeah, he is. That's somebody that they're going to have to protect that guy. So jumping into this next one here, 2 minutes. ASG goes heavy guns on this one. Still down, trying to produce a kill.
Well, starting 5-on-4 because of the penalty.
Right. Yeah, and maybe
I go heavy guns.
Yeah, maybe
right?
if you get that kill, now it's a 3-on-5, and now you can start working up the field.
And don't give him something to shoot to even it up off the break too.
Yeah, and unfortunately let Ryan Moorhead get all the way to the corner, right? Like.
And now Chad George getting out to the Snake corner. So Heat in very good positions to kill some clock here, and they get 2 kills in a row.
Yeah,
so
they shoot Castro and Woodruff.
4-on-3 from Heat. I would wager that at least one of those came off a bounce shot from Heat. Something they're doing really well out here. Grayson, though, launching up the Dorito side, recognizing the situation, down 1 with about a minute left to go. Down a body, but just looking at 4. So not fully dire. You really need Aftermath to get out to the Snake side, if at all possible. Ryan Moorhead's just going to dump paint into that entry of the Snake from the Dorito corner for Heat. Trujillo now, I imagine, coming into
Trujillo.
inside.
He is emerging as the go-to center attacker for Aftermath, but yeah, down under a minute and opportunity starting to dwindle. See if Trujillo can be a hero right now.
And it's the two guns from Heat really dedicated to that Dorito side to keep Grayson in check.
Oh, they just shoot Ryan Moorhead out of the corner.
But Trujillo, I think, traded with him, so just 2 bodies left alive. 30 seconds left. It's not all over. I don't think he shot Tyler. Not a horrible move.
Yeah,
does live.
Jordan's still alive. Jordan is still alive on the Heat side of the field. Tyler's tucked in as much as he possibly can. He's staring right at that clock. A little head check on it. 25 seconds. Jordan's going to launch. He switches hands. Left-handed blast Tyler. Does he trade out with that back center? No, he does not. Dizon is still alive in that back center to try to stop this last body streaking down that D side. I think that's Grayson Gladstone. And he wins that one, too, as well. So that might, I think that's
it.
No, it's a 2-on-1 in favor of Heat as Chad George was still alive in that back corner bunker. So, yeah, ship has sailed here on the tournament's chances for ASG Aftermath. Heat sails through the prelims, looking pretty solid. Beat Revo today, and now taking down Aftermath. Yesterday they beat Blast Camp and Uprising in a tough overtime match, but 4-0. Moving out of that bracket, they will be the top seed.
So kind of going back to what I was talking about with the penalty yesterday, like now, how big a deal is it, right? Like you're the coach. Now, how are we talking to him and making him understand how expensive that mistake was?
You know, honestly, my point of view would be we probably talked about it to death at the meeting last night, and afterward, I want to actually build his confidence back up.
If you did, right?
I'm going to make him hear about it, try to give it to him direct, make him understand the consequences of a choice like that. But what I don't want is the whole team rallying, we got knocked out because Ethan made that mistake, and then having that fester in terms of like resentment.
Totally.
I'm trying to purge that out at this tournament and give him full confidence at the next.
Yeah, you don't want it carrying over, right?
So that is going to do it here for this set. Going to take a quick lunch break and be right back. Ironman taking on New York Extreme, Aftershock, and the ML Kings. Ryan, Mike, thank you so much. And stick around. More action coming at you. 2024 NXL Major League Paintball Lone Star Major here in the Pro Division. We'll be back.